All he needed, Dave, was another yard.
Apologize for the cuts.
Had a chance to
This thing will only record about 25 minutes at a time.
It was a nice.
Kepka on
Nicely
6.
executed shot.
Pretty decent shot. Looks like he's about 25 feet. Bennett next to play. I'm really rooting for this kid, you know. I don't, to my knowledge, an amateur has never won at Augusta at the Masters. Obviously, you've got Bobby Jones, who career Grand Slammed as a amateur, but at that point in time,
he was asked, "How can you hang with
the major championships were different.
My best golf,
U.S. Open, British Open, USAM, British Am, I believe, as opposed to now it's
correct statement.
The Masters, PGA Championship, U.S. Open, and British Open. Bennett, low ball. He's a low ball hitter. Ooh, good shot.
One of the best.
Good shot.
He just continues to impress, doesn't he?
15 feet for birdie there.
It's
a 180-yard par 3 with a flag right over the top of the bunker. Tough pin. Tough Saturday
He's having
pin.
fun.
Pressure of the big stage.
He's hitting good golf shots. I mean, he really is. You can tell the nerves have affected him, especially early in the round. I think he was 2 over through the first 2 or 3 holes. But
a lot of good shots.
The guy's playing good golf, you know.
Yeah,
and he looks like he's having
three
fun
toughest
too.
holes he's played yet. He's playing them like he knows exactly what he's doing and pulling it off.
John Rahm needs a good swing here. He's made back-to-back bogeys.
Yeah, Rahm, the only person who can really catch Koepka at the moment, is going the wrong direction. Cousin Rahm. It's a good looking shot.
Good swing.
A nice line. You get it up on that slope.
Ooh.
Way up there.
Back.
It was.
But to your point, Scott, this is where we've seen putts made. Just even though it's only been 2, that's where they're made from.
That's almost identical to where Mickelson was.
It looks like they'll all three have a look at birdie.
He can't believe
Rahm's
that it didn't come down that hill.
Though.
Well, keep the 87th Masters Tournament within reach anywhere, anytime. Visit Masters.com, download the official app, and sign up for the Masters newsletter. So from a 2-shot lead to a 4-shot lead for Brooks Koepka on these holes. That's why we're here, covering holes 4, 5, and 6. They are so important on the first 9 at Augusta National.
And they always have been. They just don't get the notoriety of the beautiful second 9. But, man, this determines how your day goes almost every time you play here, doesn't it, Jeff?
It sure does. It either makes you play from behind or you run up to that 7th tee wanting to play those last 12 holes and make a bunch of birdies.
One of the best tee shots of the day so far.
Yeah, flighting it down.
And interesting that almost every player has flighted it down in this. Obviously, the wind is into you. You don't want to get that ball up in the air.
Yeah, this is one of the few times that going downhill really is a disadvantage because the weather's so bad, conditions are tough, that you don't want the ball very far off the ground. That gives you a lot of anxiety when that ball's hanging up and you have no idea where it's going to come down. So, it's windy and hot. You know, if you mess up here, you're going to get punished.
Yes, as you should.
Exactly.
So just about half of the players who made the cut have now gone through this 6th hole, and with
the rain's starting to let up a little.
Finish the 6th, only the 2 birdies at the 6th.
I think it's going to be. The weather forecast doesn't look good all day long.
Birdies are going to be very difficult.
I think they're just going to have to deal with this, basically.
It's just we thought this might play easier, and we were wrong.
Ryan Fox took advantage of his closest so far to the hole with a birdie putt. Mickelson, the other birdie. But Sam Bennett, 3rd best tee shot thus far at 6. Patrick Cantlay well ahead. We saw him the first grouping we saw on these 3 holes has dropped a shot.
Cousin
back,
Ron
so
taking a
Matt
sweet-ass
Fitzpatrick,
time.
3 under par. The best round going all alone.
As I guess
9.
you would.
It's a heck of a round.
Pretty good playing.
Already.
I think the rain has let up for the moment a little bit. You
He
can
wishes
still
he
hear it
had
falling.
a deer or a mulligan.
It's not
Or maybe a
quite
little
the
bit of both.
downpour that it was 10 minutes ago.
Every little bit helps, I would think.
I think you get so wet though, eventually you just. I mean, but yeah, it does help.
Yes, it does. And like you said,
These guys act like golf's
ball
never
might
been
go a
played in the
little bit
rain.
further
It's an
when it's not
outdoor
raining as
sport.
hard.
People play golf in the rain every day.
And the key to this one that we've seen, Phil Mickelson got to watch Gary Woodland putt, and you got to give it a little more than maybe you anticipate.
Yeah, and Gary left his to the right and well short.
Ron looks like he's using a 1991 Odyssey putter. I don't know what he's got in his hand.
Definitely
but
watching that.
yeah, that looks like the 91 Odyssey, which was a good putter,
Doesn't
but
have that benefit.
interesting to see a professional still using that.
he's lined up wide enough. Let's see if we can get the speed right.
That's short.
Had a good line, just left it short. Everybody's leaving it short in the
Good
rain.
putt,
In
but
the trough, too.
It's hard. It's hard. You know, when the speed
I
of the
think
green
that was a
changes
big
mid-round,
advantage
that's
for Mickelson.
tough.
He had it read perfectly. It just,
Right about here, it feels pretty good, and then just the moisture on the green slows that.
yeah, you can see his ball's picking up some grass clippings, just as it always does.
So he couldn't believe that the ball off the tee didn't come down the hill and get closer. Then he couldn't believe that the putt didn't get all the way there. Koepka now.
Koepka, 2 inches
wouldn't
off the
say
green on the fringe,
he's gonna
which
make it,
the
but he
fringe
can
at
make a pretty
Augusta is
good run at
nicer than the
this.
green
Sure
at,
can.
at
And
your
everybody's missed
country
it
club.
low, so we'll see if he can keep it up.
Back
with
up the
chance.
hill, probably a low percentage make,
Well, same
Nah, never had a
thing,
chance.
Everybody's been
Short.
fooled by that.
misread.
It's amazing, year in and year out, they all get fooled. Almost 95% of the players get fooled the same
So
way.
I'm curious, the young amateur Bennett, after watching 2 guys leave both their putts short, pretty
Hard to
significantly short,
You just have to experience it.
is he going to hit this with enough speed? It won't go in if it doesn't get there.
Now Sam's got no memories here, right? So
Let's say we got some fresh eyes right here. Let's see if he could just figure it out and follow
I
what
hope
he
his
sees.
caddy's telling him, if you don't get
Might
it
be
there,
one
it
of
ain't
the
going
few
in.
times you would say that a lack of experience on this golf course might be a little helpful.
I wouldn't disagree with that statement right now.
And I would, and a lot because it's playing so different today than it. I mean, 99% of the days you play here, it doesn't play like this. So it's a brand new track for everybody.
Kind of levels the field in terms of the experience. Let's see if Sam Bennett can roll one in.
It's going to be slow and moving to his right.
Gave it a wrap, that's for sure.
He didn't leave it
Looks like
short.
he started it right.
Yeah, it's
Just
that's
misread
right
it.
of the hole for sure.
But I'm not sure if he misread it.
I think he might have, but he wasn't afraid to go ahead and get it there.
No.
Good for him. Yeah, he knew it at impact that it was a little wide right and a little bit firm.
Now this feels like a really important putt for John Rahm.
They're all
I'd
important,
say
but
all
after
these putts
the
are
way he's played the
important.
last couple holes, he needs to.
I don't know if you
settle
can
down
hear
and
the audio
make
of
a
the
good putt here.
commentators.
This isn't much different than
The
the putt he just
non-armchair
missed on 5.
commentators.
Yeah.
No, this is, you have to pay attention on anything downhill here. Should fall to the right slightly, but definitely not out of the hole.
No, he's got to be inside the hole. And to your point, just a solid strike.
That was solid.
Very nice.
Now that kind of maybe stabilizes a little bit for Rahm. 1 over for his 3rd round after the back-to-back bogeys.
You know, he doesn't want to. I know it's too early to be thinking about this, but he doesn't want to give Brooks, let him run away from himself. You know, John. He's up by 4. He doesn't.
Koepka for par. Not much left in this.
Any more mistakes here and make any bogeys? Because I think he's looking at Brooks saying he's not going to make any mistakes.
Well, I think you're right, and I bet you never know. There's a lot of golf left.
No sweat.
Just keep playing your game. They're both obviously playing fantastic.
No lead is ever safe at Augusta, as we've historically seen. But you just don't want to give this guy a 5, 6, 7 shot lead and kind of let him freewheel it from there.
Well, that's what they've already done, brother.
Those putts, like the one he just made, have just looked so solid for Koepka.
Bennett trying to get his par, 3-footer. You know, those are enough to kind of keep your nerves
makes
on
his
edge.
par.
You don't want too many of those.
Stretch.
Par.
Perfectly.
That is really
bogey
good.
1 and 2s, par 3, 4, 5, and 6.
The first couple bogeys and is stabilized, and
you know,
see if he can get some.
unfortunately for
maybe make
Bennett,
a birdie or two.
birdies are really, really hard today with the weather. And it doesn't look like Koepka's going to be backing up. I mean, Koepka's just kind of been in command of this tournament from the get-go.
Conditions are brutal out there, and this golf course is a tough
Wow, CBS is
any
covered
day,
now.
any conditions when it's sunny
Koepka
and everything's
13
feeling
under
good.
for
But
6,
now,
Rahm at 9
when
for
it's so
6,
wet
Bennett, the amateur,
underfoot,
at
wind is
6
gusting,
under
it's
for
cold,
6.
it is extremely difficult for these guys out there.
And
They're
Victor
squeegeeing the
Hovland
green
at
over at
5
7 as we
under
go to
for
11.
7.
Beanie on for Fitzpatrick. He won his U.S. Open last year, and temperatures that were nearly double what we're seeing today. Today, Trevor's also about attitude, isn't it? It's a day when you've got to accept that maybe some great shots might just get mediocre results.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You've got to try your best to just
Hard-
keep your head
hard
above
day to play
water, so
golf,
to
but
speak.
you
Keep
know
the
what?
attitude
That makes
positive.
it so.
Hang in there. Understand that there's going to be a ton of adversity, and you just got to keep grinding. Pars are great
You
in
gotta
these
keep
conditions.
Sam Bennett just dazzling everyone through the first 2 days. He won his amateur title at Ridgewood in New Jersey last summer. Then he comes here, the Texas A&M Aggie, who's 23 years old, with the second lowest 36-hole score by an amateur at Augusta in history, only bettered by Kenny Venturi's total 135 back in 1956. And this was the message from his father, who lost his battle with Alzheimer's just 2 years ago. Don't wait to do something. Pops. His father had written that on a note. That note was stenciled then, tattooed onto his hand in his writing. And he has that reminder every time he stands over a shot what his father's last message was to him. What he's done here, again, second best to Venturi's total through 2 rounds. He was even bogey-free on Thursday, first time by an amateur, going back 48 years ago. And just the 3rd amateur ever to have multiple rounds in the 60s. And as you would expect, he comes out today, gets announced off that first tee. Remember that last group with decorated players. He was nervous. He had his first tee shot left, made bogey. His tee shot on 2 left, made bogey, but he has started to settle into this round, Trevor.
Yeah, he absolutely has. After he made that bogey at 2, what a beautiful picture that is. A little foreshadowing there with the Masters shirt and hat.
Well, the dream becomes a reality today, but it began early for the Madisonville, Texas native.
But since that rough start, he had the great up and down at 3, and then he really has been able to settle in, even as these conditions have deteriorated. He's made pars from 3 through 6.
Meanwhile, Patrick Cantley is at the 13th, playing his 3rd shot into the par 5.
73 yards. Will it stay on that top plateau just?
He's a couple under today. best rounds of the course. Matt Fitzpatrick and Sungjae M are each 3 under for the day, with Skoda Fitzpatrick at 11.
And he touched in, Jill. He made his debut here as the reigning US Amateur champion, but that was 9 years ago. So it shows you what Bennett is doing is quite remarkable. Sui.
Third shot now for Colin Morikawa at the par 5/8. That from 122. Trying to bring it in off that left side, but leaves himself under the hole. No eagles there today. No one hitting it on the green in 2 in these conditions. Morikawa in 4th place at 5 under par. 1 over today through 7 holes. Playing alongside the resurgent Jason Day, also 1 over through 7. 4 under par. In a tie for 7th. 96 yards, just a little dead-handed gap wedge. Control the spin. Misses the beak there by a couple of yards, and that would be a very difficult putt. Colin, Jason, and playing alongside Victor Hovland here in this second to last grouping of 3. Players playing from the 10th and first tee today in what they call a U-draw. 90 yards for Victor.
Anything that comes up just short of this whole location has the potential to spin back down the ridge. That's well played from Hovland. Should just hang up on top. Beautiful wedge.
That's ideal, Trevor. Exactly what he was after. Landed at the hole, one good bounce forward, and then spin it back. Has not stopped raining. It came out here very early this morning. They completed their second rounds at 8 a.m. this morning. Finished up around 10:30.
It's all towels and umbrellas today.
And the final grouping teeing off both tees teeing on at 1:06 today. It's going to be a long, slow day in these conditions. Phil Mickelson's been playing well, although he made a couple of quick bogeys to finish off his front 9. He's at 4 under.
Lower ball flight, being able to get a little bit of a run.
Different hole today, Trevor. They were hitting 3 woods 50 yards further than that yesterday. Here's Keegan Bradley at 12.
Yeah, sadly in this for par. Just 151 yards today. Oh, it's a big part. You see how wet this green is getting. It is the lowest point of the golf course. So Keegan manages to stay in red numbers. The ground staff is doing an amazing job just to keep it playable at the moment as we go back to your hole, Ian.
Yes, a different hole today, Frank. They're hitting 4 irons in here for their seconds, and today they're barely getting it to the top of the hill and hitting in with wedges. Jason, of course, #1 in the world back in 2015-16. Terrible back problems for quite a while, but now playing so much better, fit, healthy, can practice again. Expecting he and Ellie, expecting their 5th child later in the season. Still managing the water on the green down the bottom of the hill at the 7th. Still haven't completed putting there at 7, so watching this second to last group at the 8th.
And Ian, you think about how Jason Day had it going for the most part through his second round, then played the last 4 holes in 4 over, so it was a really tough finish. So far today, hanging there at 1 over for this round. You mentioned former world #1 and seems to be starting to get back to that kind of form, which really has been a lot of fun for us to watch over the last few months.
Yes, it sure has, Trevor. We've been out there and on the West Coast watched him perform well. More importantly, in his own mind, he's starting to think like that again. That's the key. Very hard to get back once you've lost that confidence. Comes from Bow Desert, the Brisbane area of Queensland, Australia, where it's hot and humid, very similar to Florida. so he won't be liking these conditions too much. Settle down there. Hard to judge when there's a lot of standing water after all of this heavy rain. It's hard to judge. Does it slow it up a little bit going up the hill, or does it keep skipping through? You can see the water there at 13.
Thankfully, this part is perched. The whole location is today. This is for birdie for Catley. And he drops another one. And he moves into a tie for fourth. At 5 under par.
Slowly but surely creeping up that leaderboard.
Yes, indeed. Go back to the 8th.
Morikawa will be next to putt for his birdie. Already a two-time major champ, won his Open at Royal St. George's in 2021. This green here at 8 up on high is like the rain isn't affecting it as much with the speed. Both those putts tended to roll on nicely.
Now that 8th green right next to the first green, so pretty much the highest point on the property here at Augusta National.
At 13.
Cam Smith for birdie. Where's that one in? Third place a year ago, but he comes off double at 12. Bogey at 11. Back. Here we go to the 8th.
Bringing the conditions in here to the conversation with these players. Of course, Victor from Oslo in Norway, where it's 46 degrees today, but sunny. And of course,
what do we got here?
I think they're about to blow a horn here, guys.
They might be about to blow. We've got one of the... yeah, there we go. They are blowing the horn. It is 3:15 p.m. Saturday afternoon. Ken Tackett blowing the horn there. And with the horn being blown, there's a good look at the 7th green. They're allowed, it's not dangerous conditions. They're allowed to finish the hole they're on if they'd like, but why would you want to putt in that? Wise decision. There's Tiger coming up the 17th. I'm sure he'll look forward to a nice, dry, warm position. Get off the course.
Where's the band, sir?
See how water-soaked that green is right there at 7. You saw him. Hovland was given the option by Tackett. He said, "Are you kidding me? I'll wait. I'll wait." The radar is not pretty. We knew this was going to get nasty as the day wore on. It's been raining since overnight. And the radar... There's a little bit of a very brief clearing just south of us, but a lot of green and yellow, as I said earlier today. Masters colors on the radar. It's not what you want.
I like your positivity.
What if you could remaster the Masters fan experience?
Like, what if fans could follow all their favorite players, not just the tough ones?
Yes, with IBM Consulting, you could use Watson to analyze the data of every shot and get AI-powered insights for every player.
So people can follow the underdogs.
The past champions, even the long shots.
You call me a long shot?
Hello, friends. Look at this. Right at it.
That's a good call.
That's the personalized experience IBM and the Masters created.
It's a shot for the ages.
What will you create? IBM. Let's create.
Bienvenida a casa. Welcome.
Bienvenida a casa.
Just every time. Rápido.
Competitive, pero cariño.
¿Entiendes? Recuérdame.